This is Crime Scene Investigator Chris G, leading you under the police tape and into a crime scene. Join me as we discuss the ever-changing world of forensic science. Put on your PPE, ready your fingerprint brushes, and experience the drama of a crime scene. Hello everyone, welcome to another podcast. I'm just going to reflect on last week with Hayley. It was a good laugh with Hayley. She's really down to earth, bubbly, bless her, and she as every now and then has a funny story to tell. And I thought, who better to have as a guest this week than her kind of accomplice to most of her funny stories, Caroline.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, Caroline. So, just going back to that story, you were the co-pilot, weren't you, in that one where you knocked on the wrong door? Is that right?
No, what made you think that?
I don't know.
It may or may not have been me, and there may be more to that story.
Oh, really?
As you can tell with the accent, perhaps that kind of put a spanner in the works as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, turning up in a van as well never doesn't help your case.
We were in uniform. But if anyone's seen the heads of us, to be fair, probably coming, smiling and laughing. Yeah, to be fair. So, credit where credit's due.
If anyone didn't catch the story last week, basically the story was you and Hayley knocked on a door, didn't you, to someone's house, thinking that they'd been burgled. In actual fact, it wasn't them at all, and it resulted in that person putting in a report to say that two fake police ladies turned up on their doorstep.
Honestly, you couldn't make this stuff up. No. Stuff like this always happens to me and Hayley, and I don't know why.
Yeah, but I was chatting to her the other day, and wasn't she the person that saw you into the office on your very first day?
Oh, it was Faith. It was just Faith that me and Hayley were meant to be together. It wasn't even the office. I don't know why she was out in the yard.
Yeah.
No idea why she was out in the yard, but I bumped into her in the yard, and she's like, "Are you the new Sacco?" I was like, "Yes." And we'd be quite similar in our personalities in a lot of ways, but Hayley is really outgoing and fun and bubbly.
Yeah.
I'd be quite shy to begin with. Definitely well able for the chats for sure, but it takes me a while to get used to someone. And Hayley was just straight off, took me under her wing, and she'd already been in there. She'd started, I think, a couple of days before.
Oh, so you were both relatively new at the time.
Yeah. So she'd already started in the office and had got to know where everything was and who everyone was. She completely took me under her wing, bless her. And I suppose she still is to this day, has me under her wing. But no, we've kind of been separated now. So we're in different offices, and we're on different shifts, which I don't get to work with her as often as I'd love to.
Yeah, I think probably more work gets done now, but...
We are an amazing crime-fighting duo.
When you turn up at the right address.
When we get to the right place, That was in the early days, and to be fair, we'd been given the wrong address.
That's...
or at least that's the story I'm going to stick to.
Yeah, it's happened to me before. I ended up... there was a job in one county, and I ended up going, to... from West Sussex to East Sussex, just because the person had the wrong address down.
No, and that's a long way to go.
Yeah, but thankfully I didn't knock on anyone's door before I realised I had the wrong address.
No reports were made.
Oh dear. So I'm going to kick off with just run through a few questions. So firstly, the listeners are sure to pick up on your accent. It's a little bit different from mine. What made you move from Ireland over to the south coast of England?
Well, the long and the short of it really was, when I came out of university, I'd done archaeology in university, and I was lucky enough to get some work when we came out first, but it was around the time of the recession in Ireland, so work dried up pretty quickly. And I think I just kind of took that opportunity to with the fact there was no work, I just took the opportunity to come over here and do my master's, which I probably wouldn't have done otherwise. But it was either have no work and kind of be doing nothing, or come and try and make something of it. So I found the master's over here. I was only meant to come over for a year. And yeah, it's kind of become a second home now. I'm well settled over here.
Yeah. So how many years have you been over here now?
10, I think.
10 years?
Yeah, 10.
God, it was only supposed to be a year.
The accent hasn't gone. Only a year, yeah.
Oh dear, but yeah, you like it over here?
Yeah, I do. I mean, look, there's nowhere that's quite like home. That's for sure. You know, all my family and most of my friends are still there, but I definitely have made a second home over here, and especially down here where we are. You know, we're really lucky with everything we've got down here. You know, you've got the sea beside you, you've got beautiful countryside. You're not too far from London. I'm close enough to the airport to get home pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Well, not now, obviously with COVID, but even last year, you know, I was getting home every couple of months. So it was kind of, for me, the best of both worlds. I was getting to work the job I wanted to work, be in a really nice area, but also getting to see everyone at home quite regularly.
Yeah. I've visited Ireland once before, and I just love like walking down the street and just listening to all the music. I think Ireland has just got such a fantastic like music culture to it.
Yeah.
What's the price of beer like compared to over here?
I wouldn't know, Chris. I don't drink. It's pretty comparable, to be fair, and I've been delighted because since I've moved here, I found a little local pub that does a smashing pint of Guinness. So I'm happy out. I'm here forevermore.
You can't beat an Irish pint of Guinness, though, can you?
No. No, but this one's a good second.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. So let's talk about your career path. So you just said you studied archaeology at university, and then from chatting to you previously, you went on to complete a master's in anthropology and archaeology. When you did these courses, did you always know that you wanted to get into forensics, or was it like a part of archaeology that just kind of interested you?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this question when you sent it through, and this is not a straightforward one, because I think there's always been an interest in policing and forensics and crime scene, but without actually knowing what the career was I wanted to get in. So the first thing I ever wanted to be was a police dog, and that was after watching Turner and Hooch. So I'd set my ambitions pretty low to just being an overweight, kind of wrinkly dog that worked alongside the police. And, you know, I'm not far off that at the moment. My career goals are near.
Yeah, kind of the wrong species, but yeah.
I was very young. I must add that. I think I was maybe like 3 or 4 or something. Very young. I had a wild imagination. And then, like, as I got older, I always had that interest. Like, cars in our yard used to be broken into or stolen a lot. And I remember one time my sister's car was broken into. Probably was about 9 or 10. And the next day I went out. I had gotten powder, like flour, like baking flour, and one of Mommy's makeup brushes, and I'd gone and tried to fingerprint the car. And I have no idea where I picked this up, because this is pre-crime scene, CSI Miami or any shows like that. So it's probably like Scooby-Doo or something, I don't know. But so the interest has always been there. And I think it's literally the way things have happened is what's led me over here. So I think in secondary school, I kind of career guidance we had, and I would have been pushed towards joining the Guards, which is the Irish police. And I probably would have gone straight on to do that, only for my mum wanted me to do a degree. She's like, do a degree and then you can go into the police. So I just picked a degree of something that I was interested in, and I loved archaeology, loved it. So I done that, and then of course when I finished that degree there was the recession, so the Guards weren't hiring, and it kind of led me off into this separate path. And through doing the masters I got introduced to like how you can get into crime scene over here, and all the different avenues of forensics, which I'd never really been exposed to before. So it was kind of just really by chance I was led here, but I've always had that interest.
Yeah.
I've always been nosy, basically, or curious. We'll use the word curious.
Yeah, you and me both. But it's interesting, isn't it? What possessed you to kind of just get the flour and get a makeup brush if you'd never seen that on TV? Had you not?
Like, I must have picked it up from something on TV, but I don't know. Like, this was pre any Crime Scene, CSI. You know, the way when that became a big hit. This is before any of that. And I certainly wouldn't have been. My mommy wouldn't have allowed me to watch that. So I've no idea where I picked it up, but I picked it up from somewhere, and it was obviously an interest, and I didn't get any idents that day.
Oh.
Did not solve the crime.
Oh, that would be fantastic if 9-year-old Caroline managed to solve that crime.
I'm pretty sure. I don't even think we wouldn't have had. No, we didn't. I don't think we ever had crime scene investigators out for that. Like, especially back then, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't those kind of, I suppose, crimes would have been.
Yeah.
Investigated in that way.
But what did your mum think about you using a makeup brush?
Well, it was probably just one of many things that was odd but made sense for me. Go on with it. As long as you're not sat in front of the TV, I don't care what you do.
Yeah, well, I hope you told her before she, put on makeup and then just ended up with a white face. Oh dear. You took a master's in forensic anthropology. The listeners will likely have an idea about what archaeology is, but maybe not anthropology. Are you able to explain what anthropology is?
Yeah, so I suppose the easiest way to kind of differentiate the two in a forensic context would be, so the forensic archaeology side of things would be to do with the search and the excavation for human remains. And then the anthropology side of things would be the subsequent analysis of the remains to determine things like origins. So is it human? Is it animal? How old is the individual? How many individuals are there? Is there any visible trauma? Things like that. So that would be the kind of the main separation between the two, I suppose. But they can be quite interlinked as well.
Yeah. So, like, the archaeology is like the recovery side of things, and the anthropology is more like the examination side of things. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much.
And like you say, they're obviously going to intertwine because you need to sometimes recover the remains before you can identify them.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they go fairly hand in hand. So with your forensic archaeology course, did that touch upon anthropology at all before you did a master's in it?
Yes, but not in the same extent as it did. Obviously, we went way more in detail in the master's, but I'd been lucky enough to work on any of the digs I'd worked on. They'd all involved, or pretty much all of them had involved human remains. So normally there was always an anthropologist or an osteologist on site to kind of do the analysis. So you're kind of always there to hear the interpretations of it as well and see the interpretations. So I had an idea of it before I went into the masters, but definitely the masters went way more in detail. But obviously I'm a long time out of doing that now. Like, that was, I think it's 7 years, I'd say, since I'd done my last dig.
Yeah.
So long time out of it now, but I still so interested in it. And it's one of the most interesting, for me, the most interesting area. Yeah,
because like my interest is like BPA, as you know, bloodstain pattern analysis, and when someone starts talking about it, I just can't stop.
The ears prick.
Yeah, it's probably the same. Yeah, it's probably.
But it's great to have. It's great to have people like you in the force who have that interest and that background, because, like, I don't mind saying, you helped me out with some blood pattern stuff and helped me to understand and interpret it. And I think that's really important to have that. I think it's important. There's so many people across the force that have different interests or different experiences that bring so much to the table. And it's great to be able to learn from people like that.
Yeah, and likewise as well, hence why you're on this chat today. But but yeah, it's like I think it's good that we all have like different kind of areas that we sort of specialize in or have like more of an interest in. Because then, like together, when we come together as a team, yeah, we've got all these strengths that we can just work with, which is great, I think. Have you been on any kind of like excavation jobs since working for the police?
Do you know, it's not something that obviously comes up
No.
very often. I think that the main thing that we tend to get is like washed up bones, and even then we wouldn't always be directly involved with that. But I was lucky enough actually when I first started, and it was straight out of doing all this stuff. I worked on one job which was skeletonized remains, and I got to work alongside the archaeologist, and that was really interesting one because that was in like a woodland kind of setting, and I suppose because of that kind of rural setting, that's how they came to be skeletonized. They'd gone unnoticed for so long.
Yeah.
But those remains had been scavenged and dispersed by animals, and obviously then because it's a woodland, there was animal remains as well that were kind of dotted around. So that was it was really interesting to get to work that large kind of scene, and to recover those. That's kind of been the only main one. Any of the other ones have always been animal remains.
Yeah. Because they are quite rare and kind of thankfully so in a way.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to wish it upon anyone,
No.
but you know, if one of those jobs were to come up, I would be the first to put my hand up and go.
Yeah, I bet too right. But yeah, we get a lot of kind of animal bones, don't we? Where like people are say digging up their garden, and yeah, we'll come across some animal bones, or they won't know it's animal bones to start with. I think
It's the dog walkers, Chris.
Big up the dog walkers out there. They are, yeah,
Absolutely. Keep
they
going.
are the unsung heroes of society. Well, I tell you, I've become a dog walker in the last 2 years. As in, yeah, I've got a dog now, and the amount of stuff you come across. It's...
Any human remains, Chris?
No, none yet, thankfully.
Not yet.
No, I'm still waiting.
It'll never be us, though.
No.
I've been walking my dog now for 9 years, and I've not found anything. It's a bit useless, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I've come across a few suspicious characters, which but yeah, no human remains, thankfully. But yeah, I think my last one that I was kind of involved with was there was someone that was digging up their like patio and things like that, and they found a load of bones that had been rolled up in lino. So yeah, like obviously we that raised a lot of suspicion straight away. So the police officers sent me through some images, I think, while they were at the scene, and then I just forwarded it on to a anthropologist, and they came back straight away and said it was animal bones. And we were kind of like, we were glad in a way, but then scratching our heads as to say, what are these animal bones doing wrapped up in lino underneath someone's patios? Very odd. But yeah, that's the good thing, I think, with technology now, is that we can just ping images to anthropologists. They won't necessarily have to come all the way to the scene. Yeah, it's ideal at the moment.
And generally speaking, you get your answers back so quickly.
Yeah.
And it saves time then, because otherwise, you know, potentially you're having to scene guard that until it's determined whether it's human or animal.
Yeah.
So time-wise, like for the force, it's fantastic. It's a brilliant service.
Yeah, because you've obviously got resources that would then have to guard this scene, and you got investigators that would start doing some work on it. So if you can get that early answer, then it should release those police officers so they can go to other crimes that are undoubtedly happening. I think we've kind of just we've kind of just accidentally covered my next question, which was basically like, have you been able to use your learning and experience as much as you like as a CSI rather than going and being an anthropologist?
In short, no.
No, I think we've just established that, haven't we? No, because I guess Someone described the role of a CSI similar to a GP. You know, like we have like a basic knowledge of lots of different practices. So, like for example, now we're talking about archaeology, and it could be like bloodstain pattern analysis or fire scenes, that sort of thing. But whenever it gets really in depth and we need like an expert witness, that's when we call someone that just purely specialises in that field. So yeah, like we would call in a like anthropologist, archaeologist for like if we've got say human remains that need digging up, and then we'd be there to assist, you know, like taking any exhibits that might help forward the investigation. But yeah, so yeah, we don't have a kind of direct role in this sort of thing. We're not travelling the country doing it like some people. So yeah,
you kind of just described us as a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah. I was trying not to say the whole master of none
sorry.
thing. But you've gone and done it now anyway, so might as well, yeah.
Well, we're very good at packaging and powdering and
yeah.
footwear and stuff.
Yeah, making a mess with powders, and it's made me into a fantastic like Christmas wrapper.
Yes.
So yeah, like all the stuff that we had to package. I'm sure you've packaged some crazy things over the years.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, if anyone out there ever buys their other half or loved one a sofa and they need that packaging, I've done that before. If you
should do like a how-to video coming up to Christmas.
Yeah,
CSI guide to how to package something in a really, really neat, beautiful way.
And it's got to be completely like there can't be any gaps in it either, can there? Because then the evidence, it would lose its integrity, wouldn't it? If
no shortcuts here.
No. So yeah, if you want your Christmas presents wrapped up so no one can see inside at all, then yeah. If I start doing my signature over like the ends of the tape so it can't be tampered with, and then I think I've probably gone too far with Christmas presents.
Have you not done that with Christmas presents?
No.
I've done it accidentally, like it's a force of habit. You put the tape down and then it's like, oh no, I don't need to sign this. Yeah, no, that's happened.
Oh, brilliant. But yeah, like they all need labels, don't they, all these Christmas presents? But probably a little bit different to like our exhibit labels. It ruined the surprise as well. Like if we said, you know, like 1 times rocking horse. Oh dear, we've taken a swerve now, haven't we?
We have. It's supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's supposed to be talking about archaeology and whatnot, and yeah. We've gone on to wrapping Christmas presents. Yeah. I mean, if this is what me and you are like, then you can only imagine what you and Hayley are like most of the time.
It's wild. It is wild. Hence why I'm pretty sure there's been something put in place that we're not allowed to work together.
Yeah.
It's just everything goes against us to work together.
Yeah. So the common question that I'm always asked whenever I go to a scene with bones is, how old are they? And yeah, can you predict how old it is? Are you able to explain why this can be quite tricky?
I'll give it a good whirl. So I think the main problems with it will be, and it'll depend whether the remains you're looking at are in the ground, so they're a burial, or it'll depend whether they're, like we were talking about earlier, like washed, that's a long bone that's been washed up. And see, so it's no contextual information. But there are so many variables that affect the decaying process. So it'll be things like the environment, the condition of the bones itself, whether they're in anything, scavenging activity by animals, all these things, and they're only a few, but all these things affect the decay process. So you can have bones that look much older than they actually are, and vice versa. You can have bones that look, they're pretty well preserved, but actually they're quite old. And I think, depending on, like if you've got a well-trained archaeologist, they'll be able to look in, say, we'll talk about buried remains, they'll look at it in a burial context, and what they'll look for is information like, so any artifacts within the grave that might give a clue about how old the remains are, or maybe even things on the bones themselves. So like, I don't know, metalwork, things like hip, knee replacements, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or dental work, things like that. Anything like that that would kind of give an idea of whether it's of police interest or not, or whether it's archaeological. So I think police interest is generally around 70 years. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I think it's about 70 years. The other thing as well is, like, an archaeologist will look at contextual information within the grave itself, like, so what it relates. They'll also do like desk research as well, so they'll be looking at, is there an old grave site that's there, things like that, and they'll piece all of it together. But for things like that maybe there is no information to be gained, or the long bones, what they generally do then is they would be sent for C14 dating, or carbon 14 dating. That's kind of really useful, and it's particularly accurate usually for more modern remains. So in the 1950s and 60s, with the kind of the nuclear testing and stuff that went on, there was a big spike. So generally speaking, when you're alive, you're absorbing C14 throughout your life. And then when you die, it starts to decay at a known rate. And that can be measured. That's called half-life, and that's what's measured. So because of the nuclear testing and stuff, there was a spike. So that's easier then for them to determine and kind of get a closer date as to how old they are. So the last time we had a long bone wash up that I know about, that was sent for C14 dating. And yeah, that's generally pretty accurate. Like up to a couple of years either side, it's really accurate.
I see.
So yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. If anyone knows anything different, please do tell me, because like I said, it's been a while since I've done this stuff. So, but the older the remains are, the kind of further apart the estimation gets. So the more recent stuff is close. So you can have plus or minus, say, a couple of years either side. But when you get older archaeological remains, that plus or minus gets much bigger.
I see.
So yeah, no, it is particularly useful for us then, for a forensic kind of and policing context. It's particularly useful.
Yeah, and I guess if you just come across a bone and there's nothing else that is there buried with it, like you say, no artifacts, you haven't got any, say, like dentist work or anything, because I mean, like, as dentist work and stuff, like you said, knee replacements and that, technology would advance, then you can kind of, if you've got like one of these silver fillings, I don't think dentists do silver fillings anymore. So yeah, if you've got like a silver filling, you're able to kind of work out that, okay, the person's not going to be really young because they've got more kind of like up to date dentistry work. Whereas if you start getting silver fillings, then you think, okay, so this person's the youngest they're gonna be is, I don't know, however old you are when they stop doing that. But yeah, I had no idea about this this carbon analysis. So it's
generally what they do with any of our stuff that's been washed up and has no contextual information. So they've absolutely no idea whether it's archaeological or whether it's recent, because there's nothing contextual for it. And obviously being in the sea, then you're talking about it could be quite well worn and stuff. So yeah, I thought, well, that's definitely what they've done for the last one that I know about anyway.
Yeah.
And no idea of the update as to what it was, because it never came back to us. It would have been interesting though to get the report on that. But you know yourself, it bypasses us sometimes, the report.
We kind of come in, do our bit, give the evidence, and then go to the next one. And because we don't have that kind of, I guess, like ongoing, what am I trying to say? Like,
there's not really an ongoing need for us. It is literally just the scene, and then that's pretty much
our work done. Yeah. So I think it's kind of easy to forget us, particularly like if an investigation's been going on for like 6 months to a year, and we only had that part really, really early on. Yeah, it's probably easy to forget us on that mailing list.
We're pretty forgettable.
Yeah. Well, not you and Hayley.
Yeah, arms.
What differences might you be able to find between a male and female skeleton?
I think this is one of those things where the more complete of a skeleton you have, the more reliable the assessment would be.
Hmm.
So the main kind of differences are noted in the skull and the pelvis. So, for example, with the skull, one of the things is the ridges above your brows are generally more prominent in a male.
Hmm.
And then with a female, the pelvic girdle is generally wider to allow for childbirth.
Childbirth, yeah.
But there's always exceptions to the rule. So you can have females that have areas that are typically more associated with male forms, and same for males as well. So the more complete the skeleton is, so the more things you have, the more kind of diagnostic areas you have that kind of fall in the same category, then the more reliable it is. But there is always exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like again, it's one of those things. The more you have, the more reliable your assessment can be.
Yeah. I guess if you've just got, I don't know, like a femur and that's about it, then you're not really going to be able to tell if it's male or female.
No.
Okay, so a scenario I have for you is for a job that I had. So someone calls in to say they've been planting a nice new rose bush in their back garden, and whilst digging up, they find what they think are bones. What would be the response from us and police officers?
You went with the rose bush again and not the dog walkers. You're not giving the dog walkers any credit here, are you?
All right, we'll backtrack. You've been walking through woodlands, and the dog has dug up a nice bush and found a bone. Come back to the owner. Yeah.
Chewed it a bit.
Yeah, chewed it a bit, just lobbed it around, dropped it at the owner's feet, and after the third,
he's a good boy.
After the third throw, the owners then thought, "Hang on a minute, what is this? It doesn't quite feel like a stick." Yeah, and it ends up being a bone. So what would we do in that scenario?
So I think generally when people ring it in, it's either ourselves, tends to be the officers that go first, but sometimes it does come to us first. And our first protocol is to go out there, take a photograph with a scale, and get it sent to our identification services, which we spoke about earlier, which are on hand. I think they're 24/7, aren't they?
I think so, yeah.
At least, anyway. And the first thing we need to determine really is whether it's human or animal, because obviously if it's animal, it's of no interest to us. So the first thing is to find out whether it's human or animal, which will be done by the identification services. And then the next protocol is, if it's human, then is to look at how old is it. So are we talking about archaeological remains, which obviously are not of interest to the police, or are they more recent? And at that point, you'd be calling out the archaeologist or the anthropologist to come out and have a look. If it's like we were talking about first, the buried remains.
Yeah.
And they've got a context, and definitely that would be to have the archaeologist out there and to have a look and see if there's any of that contextual information that will give them a clue as to how old they are.
Yeah.
And then it'd be taken from there. Then once they get an idea of whether it's human or animal, whether it's old or new, and it's taken from there then.
I guess they probably look at the history of where it's been collected from as well before kind of racing out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember there was a bone that was found by fishermen a few years ago, and it turns out that they were fishing where they weren't supposed to be, and it was like a well-known sea burial site. So obviously they found human bones, but because it was found from a sea burial site, then the interest kind of died down after that.
Yeah. There's been a couple of them as well, like with erosion along the coastline and stuff. There was a few in one particular area that had come up kind of pretty soon enough after one another, and that was an old burial that was starting to get exposed because of erosion.
I see.
So yeah, the bones were starting to drop out off the side of the bank. But
No.
yeah, like that's where your archaeologists to come in. They'd be doing the desk research and stuff,
Yeah,
and maybe coming out to scene as well, depending on what information they've got.
yeah. Oh, that sounds like something from a horror film, doesn't it? Just bones.
Bones dropping out the side.
Yeah. Dropping down the sky. Yeah. um, and I guess, yeah, so then when we're at the scene, so we've got a scene of like human remains that have been found, and we're working alongside an archaeologist. They would be recovering the bones, which would then go to the mortuary for like a pathologist to look at, I guess, and then they'd look at like any signs of injury and things like that. And I guess we'd be like working with the archaeologists just to see if there'd be any exhibits for us to recover. So say if they're buried with anything that might give an indication as to either who they are or how they died, then we'd be looking to do that. Is there anything else that we might do at the scene?
Well, you might get the anthropologist out seen as well. Like if you've got a pretty full set of remains, I mean, it'd be pretty useful to have the archaeologists and or the anthropologist there to. Sometimes some of the assessment can be done in situ. Like if things are really obvious to them, they might even be able to say straight away, right? Well, I know by looking at this, or I'm 90% certain this is a female, and we're probably looking at an age range of, say, 25 to 35. You know, this kind of thing, and just any obvious things, they'd be able to make some of that assessment. Any obvious injuries as well, like a good archaeologist and anthropologist would be able to determine like things like sometimes when bones are in the ground, they can become damaged while they're in the ground through just natural kind of processes and stuff. But they'd be able to determine, you know, say an injury like trauma to the head, so like crush bone, whether that was before or after. So yeah, generally speaking, I think they'd try and get to a scene like that while the remains were in situ, and then they'd obviously follow it through. Like the anthropologist then would have a look at it then after as well, when they've been recovered, and look at it in more detail then. But yeah, no, it's a pretty fascinating job that these guys have. Like it's really interesting, and I really enjoyed doing well, I enjoyed working in archaeology and stuff as well, but I really enjoyed doing my master's, and like seeing how it's applied to forensic cases is fascinating. Like some of the stuff that they can do, you know, you hear of really skilled archaeologists who've been able to excavate graves and see cut marks and stuff like from shovels and that, to show that it was like a deliberate burial, and they'll pick up on little things that it's just fascinating. Like it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Credit to them. Like it's brilliant. Like I'd love to work alongside them more, but obviously you don't want these cases to come up at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's funny, isn't it? Like, yeah, you really want to have the experience of working on such great cases, but then you never wish
you
it.
don't want them to happen. Yeah,
no,
of course.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they go through so much detail, don't they? It's such fine work that they do, and
they're an asset to cases like that. They really are.
Yeah. And if they're able to say narrow down, like, oh, we think we've got a male and they're between the ages of 40 and 50, then for an investigator they think, well, fantastic, now I know that I can go onto like the missing persons database, and see who would be missing that would kind of fit that age, as to how old they are, and then you'd have like a rough estimate of how long ago it was that they died, perhaps. So yeah, then for an investigator, the anthropologists and archaeologists are just key to that.
Yeah, it's golden. It really is.
Oh well, I think we're almost done. I was going to ask you a final question. What are the parts of this job that you really enjoy, Caroline?
You know, this job is a game of two halves, isn't it? Like on one side, It is. I think Haley said this as well. Like, it can be emotionally and physically draining.
Mm.
But on the other side, it is one of the most fulfilling and rewarding jobs. Um, for me, I think the best part, definitely the best part for me, is the people, and that's kind of both colleague wise or working with external agencies and my victims as well.
Yeah.
It's just we're really lucky. We get to meet people and go places because of our job that you'd never ever otherwise get an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I've met the most fascinating people who told me the most fascinating tales of their lives and stuff. And aside from that as well, is getting the opportunity to spend most of your time working on your own. Like, a lot of the time is working on your own.
Yeah.
But I also love those golden opportunities when you get to work with colleagues, or when you get to work with people from, like, the archaeologist or the anthropologist or whoever it might be, the scientists that come out, or the fire investigators. It's just really nice. I really enjoy that. And like we said earlier, I think for me, what started out as probably one of the most daunting things about the job was that there was so much to learn. So I didn't come from any kind of police background or anything. So when I started, I had to learn all the systems, all the police lingo and stuff, and the phonetic alphabet. Like, I've never come. It's like R for rhino. I don't know.
So close.
All these little things, and it was really daunting. And then on top of that, like, learning your scene work as well, like what powder goes best with what way to package this, what way to package that. I found it so daunting to begin with. It's like, where do I begin? And then somewhere along the line, you just get your baseline, you get your basics, and there's a lot of stuff that just is second nature. And then I think that's the part I really enjoy. You can sit back then and enjoy learning the stuff that doesn't come up very often. So even for me, like doing the blood pattern stuff with you, or, when you get to go to a fire scene, like, that's quite like an archaeology scene. Like, I look at a fire scene and I think, God, it's very black. I don't know. Everything is covered. Where do I begin? And then you've got your fire scientist like Ian who comes in and they talk you through the whole. And it's so enjoyable to work alongside them. And I especially love doing it because it's kind of like an excavation and I love it. And it's just really nice to work alongside. But it's just really good to learn from people like that. And I think the day I feel like I know everything, I think is the day I have to step away from this job, because you never know everything.
No.
And there's something gone wrong then if you think you know it all. There's something definitely gone wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm not embarrassed to say that. There's still so much stuff that I can learn, and I've been doing it 11 years now. Like, I was with Ian, so our fire scientist, on podcast number 3, if you haven't listened to it. And he was the last fire I dealt with him. He told me that there'd been an explosion. The fire had obviously gotten like so hot it then popped the windows out, and he was showing me the kind of linear, kind of parallel marks, like cracks on the glass and things, and it's just where the pressure has pushed this window out. But it was just fascinating. Like, I'd never knew that.
Hasn't Ian got patience of a saint? I drive him mental, I think, at scenes, because I'm just questions, and then like, is there anything I could do to help? And then questions. But it's, I think you have to take advantage of these situations when you're lucky enough to have experts in, because we don't get them for every single scene. So I think it's really useful, and plus my own curiosity. I like to learn. And I think for me it's another big side of the job, the people and the learning. That's I think that's what gets us all through, really, isn't it? Because it is challenging, and especially at the moment, there's so many changes going on, and for me, they can sometimes make it just more challenging, because you're obviously having to learn all these not necessarily new processes, but they could be new to you, they could be different to what you would normally do. And I think it's all these extra little things, like working with people and all those little things that we spoke about, that kind of just they override those negatives. Like every job has its
Yeah.
downside. There's no job is perfect, but I think this is just, it's fulfilling. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like there's hardly a day that goes by that, we've not found something to be laughing about, or, when you're chit chatting to someone, even from the other offices and stuff. It's just great. It's nice to be able to do that. It's nice to have a network of people across our force that I never feel stuck when I'm on a job and I don't know, there's something that's come up, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here, I haven't done this before. There's always someone to call.
Yeah,
From
there's
the other
always
office.
always someone at the end of the phone that will know the answer. Which
Except when you're called out.
Oh yeah, then no
and
one
everyone
knows.
else is asleep.
Yeah. And then it's you that needs to give all the answers. But I think what I love about the job, you kind of touched upon it, is going to like victims' houses and things. It's so nice to just go around someone's house and not ask them for like money at the end of it. Like say if someone's like boiler breaks down, then you go, you fix their boiler, and then you ask them for money. And if
it is a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to go into people's houses at their most vulnerable time, and I think it's just like burglaries are bread and butter, and for me, I still really enjoy doing a burglary, and that's because of the people.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the most exciting thing scene-wise. They can be, but normally there's not a huge amount that can be done, or you're doing kind of the same thing. But for me, it's the people that make it.
Yeah.
And it definitely is a privilege to be allowed into people's homes like that when they've been through something. Like, generally speaking, for most people, it's a pretty traumatic thing to have happen to them. And I love nothing more than going in. And, even if you can walk away feeling like, look, you might not have caught the criminal there and then because there is no fingerprints, there is no blood for DNA, or they haven't dropped anything, things like that. But when you can walk away and you know that you've given them a little bit of peace of mind and they're kind of happy with that, like, that's pretty good feeling.
Yeah. And
obviously you want to catch the criminals, but it's not always the way.
Yeah, but it's nice to do that and not ask for anything in return.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, like I said, like if your car breaks down or if your boiler breaks down, the water's spraying out of a pipe or something, it's always going to be a bill at the end of it. So whatever goes wrong in your home or whatnot, there's always going to be a bill. But if you're burgled or something, then we'll be there to help.
For free.
For free, basically.
With a smile on our face.
Yeah. And I guess what these people could do is they could just say like, oh, the CSI came round, which is a free charge, but they accidentally broke my boiler. Can you can you get someone from the police insurance to come fix it for me?
Thankfully, there's been no incidents of that. The worst thing I've done is I've spilled powder on someone's carpet. I'm like, the guilt.
Yeah.
And they're like, normally they're like, oh, don't worry, I'll clean it up. And you're like, no, you have enough to be dealing with it. Let me sort it.
Yeah, I think that the two worst things I've done is, one was someone had like a really dodgy paint job on their car. I think they got it done quite cheap.
No, Chris.
And so I put down like the fingerprint tape on it, pulled it up, and just the paint just ripped off this car. And oh my god, like my face and her face, who owned the car, were just exactly the same. We could not believe it.
Dear.
And then the other one was I went into someone's house and they just had it refurbished, so they had all new carpets down and everything. And then went into their back garden, didn't know that I trod in something.
Oh no! Actually, that has happened to me as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And then walked it all the way through their newly laid carpets. But thankfully,
these things happen.
Thankfully, the police have like insurance for these sorts of things. So
cover our
I think they know me by first name, that department, that insurance department. So Yeah, I think we sent out a loss adjuster to the car, and we sent a professional cleaning company to do the carpets after that.
I
So,
think, no, to be fair, I think that stand-in excrement has definitely happened us all.
yeah.
But I also, not only dog, but I had it on one scene where I actually stood in human.
Oh,
Yeah,
crikey.
yeah. Yeah, you see, it happens. There's always a first.
Yeah.
There's always a first for everything in this job.
Yeah.
That was an unpleasant experience.
Yeah, I bet. Oh,
Yeah, and I thought I had a strong stomach.
I don't know. I don't know what the difference. Like, what's the difference between dog poo and human poo, really?
Well,
But one is so much more
I was
gross,
not
isn't it?
expecting a human poo to be where it was, but because it was like in it was in a nappy, so that's how I knew it was human. But the nappy was in a garden,
Right.
so I wasn't expecting a nappy to be in a garden.
No.
Of course, my boots walk straight through it.
Yeah, I guess you're not really like looking out for human poo and nappies when you walk into someone's
No.
garden, are you?
No.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, on that note, on that bit, very lovely note. Why don't we wrap it up?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure, Caroline. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
on
for
and
having
chatting.
No, thank you.
And yeah, I'm sure we'll speak in the future, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We might even cross paths on a scene soon. Although, no, we don't really share similar shift patterns either, do we?
No, I think I'm just after Hayley, so yeah, I work quite a fair bit with Hayley.
Yeah.
So,
See, you're lucky.
Yeah.
That's because you're responsible, Chris. So they put you with Hayley.
I tell you what, since we've been working from home, I've got so much more work done.
I can't think why.
No. Sometimes, I just say, I'm just popping home for my dinner / do my whole reports in peace without Hayley talking at me.
That doesn't sound like Hayley at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. Who is this woman? She used to be so quiet when she was asleep. Oh dear. Well, thank you so much, Caroline. And
No, thank you.
yeah, and stay tuned. My next podcast should be out in another 2 weeks. So I'll see you all then. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye, Caroline.
Bye, Chris.
Bye. This is Crime Scene Investigator Chris G signing off. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed listening. Be sure to subscribe and follow my social media at CSI Chris G. Until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll see you at the next crime scene.
I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that's my dog drinking.
Oh, really?
He chooses his time wisely. I'm going to move.
I thought you were just a sloppy drinker.
Well, I finished my tea now. He's finished now as well. There we
Oh,
go.
bless him.
Right, we're back in action. Let's
Okay.
go.